Today I wanted to make a workout video where you do an entire workout using just one piece of equipment, the resistance band. But before we get to the exercises, there's actually a number of different types of resistance bands, and I want to go over those really quickly first. So here we have a tubular resistance band that has handles on each side. This is one version. This is actually the version that I'll be using for this workout. You can get those as well where they have no handles at the end, and you can get different, you can get an entire pack. So they come with different resistances, and they have these neat attachments that you can put at the end of them. So this entire pack is really affordable. Might be a good idea if you're doing a lot more working out at home. This gives you different resistance bands. And then we have a PT band, which usually it's open at the end, but I have actually tied mine off. And it's tied so tight, there's no way that's coming undone. But PT band come in different resistances as well. And then lastly, here we have a flat resistance band that's actually one big loop. All these exercises can be done with all of these resistance bands. I'm just going to use that tubular one for this workout. So we're going to start off with some upper body exercises here. So I've got my tubular resistance band. I'm just going to put my foot in the middle, step right on it. Make sure that the tension is even on both sides. And now we're going to do a bicep curl. Now with resistance bands, the shorter the band, or the shorter you're able to make the band, the more tension it'll have, it'll offer more resistance. So you can manipulate the tension that way. It's important to control the motion, both up and down. Same idea with this next exercise. We're just going to flip those hands around to do a lateral raise. So once again, stepping my foot in the middle of that resistance band, making sure that tension is pretty even on both sides. And then we're just going to bring the arms out, keeping a slight bend to the elbow. No need to go higher than parallel to the floor. Depending on how much resistance your band offers, you might not even be able to get up to parallel. Next one is going to be very similar. Once again, stepping in the middle of that band. Now we're going to do a front raise, however. So go ahead and find kind of a comfortable stance where you're getting enough tension on that band. But now instead of going out with our arms, we're going to go forward with the arms. Once again, just to about parallel to the floor. Keep those shoulders down. Now for this last upper body exercise, we're going to do a tricep extension. Now with this type of resistance band, you can do that a number of ways. You can hold it up overhead and then extend upwards. For simplicity's sake, I think stepping on the resistance band has worked very well. So we're going to continue to do that. I'm going to do one at a time. So I've got this one here, holding tension, got my foot there in the middle, Just going to bring that up, keep that elbow tucked in. We're going to extend. The trick here is not to let any other part of that arm move. Just the bending of the elbow and the extending. Now, as I mentioned, tricep extension can be done a number of different ways. You can hold it up overhead. You can do both at the same time if you wanted to with both feet. So make sure you kind of get the handle turned around. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but I found the method that I did with one at a time worked very well. When we did one arm, now it's time to do the other. And now we're on to some leg exercises. I am going to do all of these exercises with that same band, but I did want to point out to you this type of resistance band here works very well for leg exercises because just like with the other one, you can put your feet on it. But with this is really nice, you can do a number of things. You spin it around, makes it a little bit tighter. You can do banded walks. For example, you can actually bring this up around, staying on the shoulder area. It's great for squats and great for deadlifts. So this type of band works very well for leg exercises, and I just wanted to point that out. But I am going to do all of these still with that same pink one I've been using. A deadlift. I'm actually probably going to do a stiff-legged deadlift, but you can do a more traditional one as well. I'm going to put both feet on the band. If you want it tighter, you can move those feet apart a little bit. But what we're going to do here is we're going to hold these handles together. And then we're going to do a stiff-legged deadlift. So we're going to keep the back flat. We're going to squeeze the glutes, come back up. So you have a hip hinge, squeezing the glutes to come back up. You want to make sure that resistance band is tight enough for you to feel the resistance. Next we're going to do a single leg deadlift. So one leg, not two, but same idea applies to start off with. We're going to have our stance leg right there in the middle of the resistance band. We're going to hold those handles together, make sure you've got good resistance. Now for this one, you also want to make sure that you have good balance. So if you need to be close to a wall or the back of a chair, where you can put your hands on it for some extra support, do so. And then what we're going to do is have that strong stance leg. The other leg is going to go straight back. We're going to go down towards the floor, back up. Once again, we're squeezing that glute of the stance leg to come back up. Then if you need to hang on to something, these are a bit easier without that resistance band. And since we did one leg, now we have to do the other. One side might feel a little bit more balanced. That's just normal. onto a squat. Now with the squat, you can vary your squat stance, have a wider stance, narrower, depending on what's comfortable for your knees and hips, to where you can keep your feet flat on the floor, heels down. So you can play with that a little bit, but your squat stance will also can vary depending on your resistance band and how much resistance you want. So I'm going to do a wider squat stance, which I prefer anyway, but adds a little bit more resistance. So I've got my feet wide, nice tension on that band, and we're going to squat. Workout. We're going to do sit-ups. You can do sit-ups or crunches. Sit-ups if you want to come all the way out, crunches if you don't. But we're going to put the resistance band here around our shoes, keeping those heels on the floor and making sure your resistance band is nice and tight. And then you can just sit up, or you can crunch if you don't want to come up quite as high. It's important with whatever method you use, you want to lead with the chest, not with the head. You don't want to put any unnecessary strain on that neck. And my trick to making sure I don't hurt my neck or I'm trying to come up with leaning with my head is to always think about leading with the chest. The chest goes first. And there you have it. Full body resistance band workout. It's fairly short. You can do that as many rounds as you'd like. I'll probably do 3 more rounds that I won't show on camera, all using one piece of equipment, one resistance band, full body workout. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.